welcome back, you filthy exiles. So, off the back of feedback and the last video that I put up, I thought I'd keep this series going and also maybe add a few extra things to it. So it'll be relatively similar. I'm now editing in Premiere Pro instead of Filmora 10. So a bit of this is going to be a little bit touch and go. It might take me a little longer to get my head around, but the workflow works well. Anyway, week on week, not a great deal of changes. There were some shifts between the same 5 character types or ascendancies that were used in the last week for week 6. Will note the league is really dying. Like at week 7, you know, there's a lot of player drop off, there's a lot less things happening, and yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing, but hey, we're going to press on and keep going. So anyway, let's get into the video and see where we ended up for week 7 of the 3.15 league for most played builds. Okay, so for the top 5 ascendancies for week 7, we're looking at Necromancer at number 1 at 15%, Raider number 2 at 15%, Gladiator at 12%, Ascendant also at 12%, and the Occultist at 9%. Now, a couple of things to note. This isn't surprising that Necromancer would be sitting at such a high percentage. This is simply off the back of people running Spectres, in particular the operative variation of Spectres, which is still incredibly powerful. Raider is still very heavily SST for where we are in the league, and also Toxic Rain as well is pretty much the go-to builds on there. Actually, a lot of Lightning Strike and Lightning Strike builds too are working really well with that. Gladiator, Shield Crush, SST. Ascendant is pretty much aura stacking, and Occultist is pretty much death auras, which is really interesting. But yeah. So of the Necromancer class, the only 3 real notable skills that are being played is the Ray Spectre skill, which is at 71%. This will be predominantly based on the Spectre, the operative, which you can see in the footage on screen now. Basically, this is pretty much the go-to Spectre for this league. The next one is Volatile Dead. I'm actually working on a build for this at the moment, but it basically uses the Martyr of Innocence and cast on crit. And then the third is Summon Raging Spirit, and I think Zisseran's got quite a good build for this one, but that's one to keep an eye out for. Anyway, those are the 3 top skills for the Necromancer currently in the league. For the Raider, we've got number 1, or the first skill that's being, or the most used skill being used, is Spectral Shield Throw. This is not surprising, simply off the back that this is just crazily powerful this league since the buffs for this particular skill, despite no other skills ended up getting buffed like this, aside from Forbidden Right. We've got 16% going to Lightning Strike. I've actually played a similar character using Lightning Strike and accuracy stacking, and this was actually pretty damn powerful. Though it does use lightning, and there are inherent limitations around using, you know, a lightning elemental's on-hit skill. 14% to Toxic Rain, which is not unsurprising. It's not surprising, sorry. You know, Toxic Rain's a really good clear skill. It's overall a really good skill, and this league's been quite easy to max out Chaos Dot compared to other skills which have just been falling short pretty much constantly throughout the league. So that's not surprising at this point of the league that Toxic Rain would be used pretty heavily for mapping. Okay, so for the Gladiator, obviously Spectral Shield Throw, again, much like the Raider, it just dominated this league. Its scaling was just on a whole different level. Second to this, Shield Crush. Now, the footage you can see here is actually of my Shield Crush build. Check that out, the link will be in the description. Which is really strong, really tanky, use max block, similar to Spectral Shield Throw. You could just simply face take things, tank things, run max bleed, whatever else, and pretty much take everything in the game out without too much effort. And or some of the hardest bosses in the game you can fell with you know, just a Gladiator. Defensively, it's also been one of the best ascendancies in the league as well. Now, third off the rank here is also 4% going to Cyclone, which is the usual, you know, Impale, Shockwave, Cyclone with max block and everything else in between. But that's basically it for the Gladiator. It's really simple, no crazy skills. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of variety, just off the back of just a lot of death to a lot of skills this league, pretty much. Okay, so you'll notice a bit of a pivot shift in the editing. About midway through editing on this video, I realized trying to do 5 Ascendancies and 5 skills underneath that was a lot of editing, like crazy amounts. I think at this stage I'm at like 3-4 hours. So I'm going to wind this series back to top 3 builds of the week, and then the top 3 skills for each of those, and I'll continue with this format. If you like this sort of style of editing, let me know. I'll continue to retailer this a little bit more to make this a little bit easier moving forwards, but I've added a bit more into this video than last league. It's a little bit longer. There's obviously a lot more video footage. I've had to source builds and a lot more material. So yeah, if this is looking a little bit better, we'll tailor it down to 3 top builds, 3 top skills. Now I don't know if I'll continue doing it into the into the next few weeks. We might put it on hiatus depending on how the league's going, because there's not a lot of shift in the league. But anyway, we'll make a call and then go from there. Anyway, like and sub if you like this video. It gives you the information you need to make some decisions. And until next time, bye.